everybody, this is Dedra with Paper Crafts and Planners here with 11 Cards 1 Kit for the December 2020 Spellbinders Card Kit of the Month, Heart Hands. Next week, look for me to come back with a video with some simple cards that you can make in multiples because I'm going to participate in the Cards for Kindness program through scrapbook.com, and I hope you'll join me. I'm coming up with some really pretty templates to use that'll be easy, some card recipes, whatever you want to call them. Okay, card number 1. I've cut all the pieces and put them in these envelopes so that it doesn't take me as long to do this video. And this is a piece I've cut to size that came with the card pack, and it looks like I've cut it just pretty much a tiny bit smaller, maybe 1/8 of an inch. And I've stamped a few of those butterflies around in strategic places where I'm not going to be placing anything else. This is a tag from the tag set, and I love it. It has those little musical notes on it. I thought it would be great with the phonograph and the record album. I'm going to fill in some of these spots with some die cuts that have some florals on it. I'm just going to let them hang off, and then I'll trim them down when I'm done. I'm just trying to figure out here how I could fill in these spaces and kind of make it look cohesive. And then I'll take my Grand Pro shears and I will trim this off. I did an unboxing for this card kit, and I will link to that below so you can look at it. And I will also link to anything I use in the video so that you can find it. I'm going to trim this off a little bit so it doesn't stick out too far on the bottom. And then I'm covering up the little hole on the tag so I won't have to address it to do anything else with it. And then I'm just going to kind of collage these pieces around. I'm not the greatest at layering pieces. Some people are really good at it. But this card kit, I end up doing it a lot. So maybe I'll get better the more I do it. So this phonograph I thought was lovely. I'm using it, both phonographs. You get 2 of each die cut. And so on another card, I use the other one. And actually, I think card number 2, I use it. And there's that little record album. I think that just turned out really sweet. All right, card number 2 is, again, another tag I'm using. Oh, this is, okay, this is the one with the little envelopes on it. That's what it is. And I thought this one turned out really pretty. There's paper with envelopes, there were little die cut envelopes, and I just wanted to kind of combine them to make a really pretty card. And I cut this down. I left probably in 1/2 inch smaller than the card base. And then I have this little tag that was long and narrow, and I thought it was really pretty. I love the color. It's kind of like a dark, kind of like a terracotta, I guess you would call it. Then I'm going to layer some little flowers. I'm using both of these flowers that came in the set. And some of the little envelopes. And then I stamped the "You Are the Best" from the stamp set and die cut it. There's a matching die for it. So I stamped and die cut that. I thought that would be pretty at the bottom across one of the envelopes. And then, so I'm just showing you the stamp set and the die cut. And then I'm going to collage all these other envelopes and this couple of these florals up at the top just to kind of fill in that tag and make it look really pretty. And I guess there's no right or wrong way to collage these. I just always feel like I'm moving them around a lot trying to figure it out. And you're missing all that because I did that before I put the pieces in the envelopes. I spent a lot of time looking at them. And then I decided not to use this little strip sentiment and use this envelope instead. Had them both together just in case. I just didn't know which I would want to use, but I think it looks better like that. And then I'm going to add just a little sequence to the opening where you would normally put a ribbon or twine or something. I thought it looked really pretty. And all these sequins came with the card kit. So, all right, this next one, I'm using the phonograph again. And I had a little piece of gold mirrored paper that I had a scrap of, and so I'm going to use that. That came with the kit also. I cut this piece to the exact size of the card front, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'll probably have to trim down the gold just a little bit because it was a longer strip left over. That was a tag, that lined piece, and it looked like a little card catalog, the old-timey ones from the library. And I went ahead and trimmed it down. I took the top of the tag off and just kind of trimmed it to fit how I wanted it to. And I love this little mannequin piece. So pretty. And I'm going to use this little, it almost looks like a little wreath behind it, just to kind of frame it up. I thought it looked pretty. And plus I have plenty of die cuts to use, right, with this kit. I never count them, but boy, there are a lot. And then I'm put the phonograph and the record. And I decide I want to put that adored. It looks like a little ticket and it says adored. So I'm going to slide it right under the mannequin. I haven't pressed the mannequin down very well, the dress mannequin, so I've got a little time to do that. And then I'm going to, I look again, can I use that Love Your Smile strip? And I am going to use it on this card. So it doesn't float around the table too long. But I'm going to use it right down there at the bottom. So this would be a great just because card to send to a dear friend. Okay, on to card number 4. This one has a little framed piece in it that I left all the pieces, though they will punch out if you wanted to use them separately. You could see that in a minute. So this paper has those little tiny flowers, which are just so pretty. And then I've got another tag, and again, I trimmed it down. I trimmed the sides. It was really big, and then I trimmed the length too. I took the top off of it. I die cut an oval of some gray paper because in that tag piece, it has some little gray lines to it. And again, there's that frame that I didn't take all the pieces out of. I left it whole like that. I love that little hand with the flower. So I'm going to add my tag piece on. And I'm going to put these flowers behind where I'm planning on putting that frame. So they're coming out the side. Oh, that was really pretty. And then I'm going to add the frame on top. And then in a minute, you'll see I have these little chipboard circles that have sort of asterisks on them that came with the kit. And I thought they would be pretty just to kind of randomly put around. Oh, and I also have this chipboard piece that says lovely. And there were 3 or 4 of these little sentiment chipboard pieces. That says this moment. I thought that was really pretty to add. Now I'm going to add all these little pieces. And they're different colors. There's the terracotta color and some black and some gold and some white and some cream. So I'm just going to add them all over randomly. I thought they were really pretty to kind of add a little glitz to the, with all the gold foiling on it. Really love that one. Okay, now we are on to card number 5 already. And this one has those little hands, which I really loved. That goes with the heart hands theme. And I've cut a piece of paper. Well, actually, I think I had it as a scrap from something. And it's part of the kit also. Good thing I always check to make sure those open the right way. I did ink around these with that gray ink you see off to my left. It's called Charcoal, and it's from Close to My Heart. And it's a darker gray, but it's not black. And I thought black was just too much with all the muted colors with this. I didn't want to add a lot of black. So I'm just kind of placing where I want these collage. And that little strip says, embrace all that is you, which I thought was really pretty. So that again is a tag, and I cut it down and then rounded the corners. So it would have the look that I wanted. That's a little clipboard with an ampersand, a gold foiled ampersand, and I thought that was so pretty. And then this book that says romantic poetry. That was lovely. I'm just going to use those as kind of the base of my collage. That looks like a little library card, which don't come in library books too much anymore. I don't know. They used to when you checked out the book. And then there's a little envelope and a candle that I thought was so pretty. So I thought all of this went with, and that little pen that's sort of the old-timey calligraphy, or I don't know, ink and pen where you dipped it in the ink bottle. That was really pretty. And so I think it went with the embrace all that is you, having all those different little pieces collage there. And I love the little gold foiling here and there. Okay, this next one is why I have 11 cards to this kit, because I fell in love with this paper that came with the kit, and I've cut it into a card base, a top opening card base. And I just wanted to use it with these papers. I thought it was so pretty. So I cut this about 1/4 inch smaller. So it's about 4 by 5 1/4, this piece. I'm going to add it on there. And then I die cut a circle using one of my basic shapes die cuts. And then I took the other one of that little wreath and I stamped that Hello Lovely from the stamp set. Now you'll see I put it down and then I realized, oh no, I wanted to put those little tags under. But it's okay because I didn't press it down too hard, so I'm able to move it over. But I will tell you, the art glitter glue that I use, if you press it down, it's done. You're done. It's not going to move around a lot once you've pressed it down. So these are 2 little tags that came with the set, and I thought it would look pretty to kind of layer those underneath. And then that's it I'm doing. But on the inside, I'm going to add that white piece because, so you'll have a place to sign because it is kind of dark using this dark brown. And then I have a little extra strip of the floral paper that I'm going to add to the bottom. And then I took a little punch that I have that I love that does these little flags. And I cut one out in the floral paper and then one in that gold mirrored paper. And I'm just going to layer them up there for the inside of the card. I love decorating the insides of cards. I don't always take the time to do it, but when you have a dark card base like this, I think it's really nice. So there's that one. Okay, next one. This I loved, this dark floral, and each of those flowers look like they're taped down, like someone's drawing them. Okay, this frame came with the set. It was one of the chipboard pieces. It had some other things inside, and I just punched them out. And then I put some of the paper behind it, and then I backed it all with a light blue paper that came with the set because I didn't want that black frame on that black background paper. Now I'm going to cut a little flag end on each. So I just cut in a tiny bit and then cut from the points into where I put that slit. Really easy to do. I'm going to do it on both sides. And then I'm going to use it at the bottom as sort of a background for my sentiment. This I cut to the whole front of the card, so 5.5 by 4.25. That frame, by the way, if you can't read it, it says collect beautiful things, and it has another one of those flowers taped down. So pretty. If you have trouble when you're putting this gold piece down or any mirrored paper, set something heavy like a book on top of it until that glue really adheres. I didn't have to do it today, but that little sticker was chipboard sticker and it says happy birthday. I thought that was so pretty to use there. All right, moving on. This next one, I'm going to actually use a ribbon in the tag. This tag, I backed it to some of the black paper and then I trimmed around so it had a little frame to it. I'm going to put some black paper down also underneath my printed. And this looks like little, maybe tulips or something. Gold foiled, really pretty. And then I'm going to attach that whole thing to the card base. And then I have some collage pieces to do. And I also have a little cardstock piece that says vintage number 10 that I'm going to put in that corner. I thought was so pretty. So I have folded the ribbon in half and put the folded piece through. I had to use some scissors because it's a smaller hole. And then I pulled the ends through that centerpiece. And I'm going to leave it like that for now. I'll trim them off though when I'm done, so they're not as long. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that down so I can kind of see where I want the other pieces to go. And I kind of wish I'd put it down a little bit lower so I could have more ribbon at the top, but that's okay. It still looks good. And I have the bird cage and the bird. That tag is really pretty and I'm covering up quite a bit of it, but I thought it was still pretty. And there's that heart. Quite a few hearts came with this with a little bit of foiling on each one. And there is my bird. Really cute bird. And then I had this little strip that again I thought I might use and I didn't. But I had it just in case I needed it. Just cut those off at a slant, kind of fiddle with the ribbon a little bit, and I think it turned out really pretty. All right, what is our next one? Oh, this next one is something I envisioned sending to a crafty friend. They had this paper that has the scissors and the paint brushes and the palettes and all these things all over it. And then there were also little die cuts that matched. Paint brushes, pins, scissors, paint tubes. And I just thought it was so pretty. And I'm going to use the tag as is this time. I'm not going to trim it down. Really pretty, almost like a gray blue. It's just a really pretty blue. Put that down kind of centered there. No, maybe off a little bit to the side because I've got a few die cuts. And I'm going to put that paint palette coming out the side. And then I'll make sure I kind of balance it by putting some of the other things coming off the tag over to the side. And these little words, word banners say inspire and create. I thought those are perfect for a crafty friend. We all have that crafty friend that inspires us, right? And those are the little paint tubes, so pretty. And we've got the paint brush. And then I just tied a bow with some twine that I've had forever. I could not tell you where to get it because it's very old. I'm pretty sure it was a close to my heart. And here's where I'm searching for my glue dots because that's really the best way to kind of put that down. These glue dots are nice. They're the ones that have the release back on them, and they're for Fun Stamper's Journey. So I will definitely link to those. I do appreciate them having that little top to them that when you pull off, you're not just holding the glue dot in your hand. There we go. I'll probably play with that bow about 1,000,000 times before I like the way it looks, but I won't make you suffer through watching it on camera. This one I'm using a pretty chipboard piece that I just had to use on one of my cards. So I cut this piece. While it is 5.5 tall, it is more like 3 3/4 wide because I wanted to use a strip of gold to one side. I ended up with these strips of gold when I was cutting down for other things, and I wanted to go ahead and use them up. I will say the gold mirror is very unforgiving if you get like a dot of glue on it or have something on your hand and you touch it, but you can wipe it off with a little damp cloth. And that I stamped, that piece, and then the inside piece I stamped too. They're separate, and it says, "To a beautiful soul who brings light with her smile." I thought that was so pretty. So I'm going to put that down there. And then that little girl with the bonnet, that is so cute. Stick her next to it. And then I have that heart that I'm going to put right in the center. And I'm actually going to use some sequins again. All these sequins came with the kit. And there are always so many. I tried to use one of the little tiny sequins and I was not very successful with it. I find them a little difficult to use, but they would probably be great in shaker cards. Okay, last card here. I loved this paper. It looks like a reflection of the mountains on some water. And this is the die cut that makes the hands that I use, the heart hands. And I just cut the hands out of the peach paper that came with the kit, but you can of course stamp them on white and change the color by using watercolors, alcohol markers, whatever you want. I just didn't really want to fuss with it, to be honest with you. When I had that peach paper right there, I thought, okay, it is a skin tone. It's not everybody's, but it's one. And then I'm going to put these hands down so they're making the little heart shape. And then I have this cardstock piece, one of the thicker chipboard that has adhesive on the back, and I'm going to add a little extra glue because the top is going to sit on top of those fingers a little bit, and I don't want it to go anywhere. And it says, "She has fire in her soul and grace in her heart." I thought that was really pretty. And as is, I don't think it needs anything, though you could add some sequins. And here I'm going to show you all of the cards in no particular order that I made. And I think they just turned out really cute. Through no talent of mine, it was just a lot of really pretty stuff this time that you can use to put on your cards. And I'm going to probably make some more cards, finish it up. I'm not sure when, but I'll put it aside, everything together, and keep it together for a little bit because I do want to make some more things with this. So we've got one birthday card and a whole bunch of just because cards with this set. And I really do like that. Could never have too many just because cards, right? Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Happy crafting!